Azeem, first of all, you and I have spoken a lot over the last 12, 15 months. We've had a lot of honest conversation, difficult conversations, not just on the record, off the record. Yesterday, what did it feel like to be able to share such deep-rooted personal experiences that you faced?
As you know, really emotional. I'm an emotional soul. It was difficult to go into such detail of your personal life. Yeah, it was difficult, but I think been shouting from the rooftops for the last 16 months, and no one's been prepared to listen. And it became very evident that it was something like yesterday, and the sponsors leaving a few weeks ago, and the politicians getting involved. That was required for the game as a whole to actually start listening.
Do you know what I found interesting yesterday? A lot of people over the last week or two, and especially yesterday, focus on the obvious racism, the use of the P word. From the British Asian community, for people like ourselves, there's a lot of racism which is a lot more subtle. There are lots of microaggressions. And people have been talking to me on our program about these sort of incidents and issues. With hindsight now, is that more and more in your consciousness now after what you've experienced?
Yeah, look, there was all types of racism. As I've said yesterday, I was clearly looking the other way and in denial as to what was going on. I knew there was something wrong, but I didn't quite know what. And as a person of color, that to actually start accepting that you're getting treated unfairly or differently because of your race or your religion, it's a difficult thing to take, and it affects you mentally. But hopefully, yesterday will smash up on the conversation. It will let other victims, which I think are in, from what I hear, into the thousands already, coming forward and talking about their experience, and they're going to be heard.
A lot of people have contacted me talking about, phrases which we use like, born and bred, things like, I don't know, during Ramadan, the lack of halal food, which is on offer at cricket clubs, oh, we're not going to sign that Muslim player because he's not going to put any money behind the bar.
Yeah, I've heard all of them, especially Ramadan. If you fast and make a mistake, it's obviously a big issue. It's always continuously every year taking the mick out of this thing that the clubhouse is lifeblood of the club, and Asian players won't go in there. These sort of comments are they're racist. It's as simple as that, and we need to start calling it for what they are.
It's the stuff which pulls the hairs out of your arm one by one and gradually breaks you down. A lot of people have said that. Is that what happened to you?
Yeah, look, I probably didn't even realise myself the effect that it was having on me. And it does. It breaks you over time. It breaks you slowly, and it put me in a place where I genuinely didn't feel like there was any point living life, and that slow process of, and the big thing with that is, how do you call that out? Because straight away you get victim blaming. You get, oh yeah, but he was this. Yeah, but I'm not interested in a yeah, but.
Yeah, but no, but I mean,
Do you know what I mean? It's like, listen to the victims, right? Stop looking for excuses for the perpetrators, and which what I think the game has done throughout this whole process. I think the PCA, I think, have been completely inept, and I mean, to say that we've got members on both sides. So what you're saying to me is that some of your members have been racist, but you're going to protect them. Sorry, mate. That's not right.
how does the game move forward though? Because the ECB surely needs greater diversity, greater representation. What if they wanted to get you on board and said, Azeem, come and help us?
Yeah, look, I'm happy to challenge them. I'm happy to share my experience in any detail they want to hopefully be learnt from. At this stage, I'm not sure if I'd like to be involved in anything formal. I think that's a little bit further down, but if I did, it would be on accepting me as I am now. I don't think after everything, not just myself, I know yourself as well, Ankur, we've had conversations going on 2-3 hours at times, and there's a lot of people with a lot of emotionally vested in this. So it's important that we keep calling it out and make sure that we don't just suddenly get all the hoo-ha, the accolades, whatever that comes with it, and then go inside with the system and tell everyone how great it is. It's important that I keep telling people what reality is.
Did you think that you would trigger so many people in terms of what they've experienced or work in sport? A lot of people contacting me on our program saying this is not just something that happens within cricket, happens within wider society.
Yeah, I think so.
In the workplace, people going to work and feeling like this at times and not being able to speak out about it because of the fear of repercussions. They get punished for it or they'll get marginalised for it.
Yeah, victim blaming, a character assassination. I've had everything, and I mean, recently I've had people from a large utility company who've been through similar things. So yeah, I think it's triggered a lot of people, and I think a lot of people have reflected and gone, actually, why did I look the other way? And it makes me angry that I looked the other way for so long. But hopefully what yesterday has done is shown people we can stand up for ourselves.
In terms of representation, when you look at the England team and they've tried to be respectful towards Moeen and Adil, for example, let's not spray champagne on them and be respectful. How did it make you feel when you weren't given that same respect at a club where you've grown up?
Oh, look, like I said, the institution, the environment is such a norm that no one ever thought that it was wrong. That's a simple thing, and that's the message that Yorkshire are institutionally racist, and the game is. It's not just Yorkshire. ECB needs to take responsibility because ultimately they are the regulators and the governing body.
A lot of people said the British Asian community being silenced. Let me rephrase that. A lot of people said the British Asian community, there's been a bit of a deafening silence so far in terms of the support for you. Are you surprised by that? And why is that? Is that going back to what we said, fear of speaking out and what would happen?
This is the thing that's hurt me the most over the last 15 months.
People from your own community, not.
I think it's been a combination of fear of the institution, which I completely understand and respect. But what has hurt me is prominent people within the businesses at Bradford, prominent people within the sport have looked the other way, but some people have actually tried to help Yorkshire cover this up. That hurts. And I just say to them people, you've got kids. 20 years down the line, if your kid is suffering racist abuse, he's never going to come to you. And you know what? That day you'll look yourself in the mirror and you'll cry. You will cry because my dad's seen his son in tears. And what a parent goes through when it affects their kids is no money or no job can replace that. So I'd say to them is, look yourself in the mirror. You're not only doing disservice to me, the rest of us, but you're actually doing disservice to your own kids.
How does that make you feel? You're a father yourself when you see tears in your father's eyes.
It breaks me every time. And yeah, it's really difficult. But you know what? He said to me last night, nothing you could have ever achieved on a cricket field will be bigger than what you've done yesterday. And he's proud of me. And yeah, that's all I want.
Just finally, how big a moment is this for the British Asian community? A lot of people say it's a watershed moment and have talked about the impact the Black Lives Matter movement had. Would this be the moment the British Asian community finds their voice? Is it a seminal moment?
I hope so. I've said this to you from the offset that actually if we realised it for what it was right from the offset, it's a chance for us to get our respect and our, just get some sort of standing back in society for ourselves. Because what's the difference between us? Colour of our skin, the religion. So yeah, I think it's important that we really unite together, learn, and our young people need to make sure that the leaders that we pick from our community are right, and we ask them questions constantly and never get to a place where when our own son or daughter stands up that we leave him on his own.
Lastly, what next for Azeem Rafiq?
Drive home, hug my family and some sleep.
Back to the business. Back to the day job.
Back to the normality, yeah.
What about the first thing you're going to have when you get home to eat and drink? And what have you missed? Because the last few days have been exhausting, I imagine. What are the creature comforts you're looking forward to? Any particular home comforts?
I just want to hug my kids and my wife. That's it. And yeah, just get some rest.
Enjoy your break.
Thank you, mate.
If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, and click the bell icon to keep up to date. For more great audio and video from the BBC, listen on Sounds, watch on iPlayer.